everyone, and welcome back to Casual Climbers, the podcast by and for beginning hikers. I'm your host, Donna Patrick, and alongside me is my husband and adventure buddy, Roy.
Good morning, Donna.
Good morning, Roy.
So in this podcast, we provide you with tips, tricks, and reviews of some of the many, many hiking trails here in the Blue Ridge area. Now, we may be unfit hikers.
Maybe.
But we do love the outdoors, and we want to share our experiences with you. In today's short trail snack episode, we discuss the Davidson River Trail in the Pisgah National Forest near Brevard, North Carolina. And Donna, this may actually be the first trail that we've done that I would not recommend to hikers.
Yeah.
So, you ready to tell them why?
Yeah, let's go.
So here's today's trail by the numbers. The distance was 2.8 miles there and back. It took us 1 hour and 32 minutes to complete. Of that, 1 hour exactly was moving time.
Really? Exactly?
Exactly.
Huh.
Yep. The lowest point was 2275 feet. The highest point was 2575 feet.
So
which
300 feet.
300 feet elevation gain, but it was over a mile.
Yeah, it was very gentle.
At 1.25, 1.5 miles around there. I didn't feel it. Really,
you're not climbing a mountain here.
No.
Not really.
Not like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pets are not allowed on this trail.
Mhm.
There's a sign on each end showing pets not allowed. And really, this is a mountain bike trail.
Now, you said pets are not allowed. We did see a woman with a dog.
Yeah, but the sign clearly shows no pets.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, you know as well as I do, people don't always pay attention to the signs.
Yeah.
So,
It was a very well-behaved dog, sweet dog.
yeah.
But she was on a bike. He was following behind her. There was no leash.
No.
Actually, I saw from the parking lot, before we even actually got on this trail,
There was another dog.
another couple of dogs
Yeah.
off leash. And so I guess maybe this is an unofficial hike with your dog off leash kind of area. I mean, I know some people out there really enjoy hiking with their dog off leash. I know my sister in Colorado trusts her dogs, and she trusts wildlife more than I trust wildlife.
My only problem with having a dog off leash, even the most well-behaved dog, has to do with the others that are around you.
Other dogs, other animals, other people.
Because there are some people who have a very strong fear
Oh,
of dogs.
yeah.
And so if your dog is off leash, it could be the sweetest animal in the world. That person doesn't know that.
Yes.
And so having it off leash kind of...
It's not good for those people that
No.
have that fear.
Right. That's my only problem with it.
Yeah. Those
So-
people might not be hiking, but they might. I mean, it's,
So if you are afraid of dogs and you want to hike and you're looking for a trail that is supposed to not have animals, doing that hike and having an animal off leash would be upsetting.
to that, but yes, yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
do. I see what you're saying.
But listeners, I have no problems with dogs.
I love
dogs. And we had quite possibly the best dog ever created, who sadly passed away last year, or 2022.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have taken her on mountain hikes.
Oh my gosh, she would love it.
She
so
would have been
much.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to the trail.
Okay.
So to get to this trailhead that we are not recommending hikers do, but I will say this. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're a mountain biker,
oh my goodness.
this is probably the perfect trail for you.
Or one of them. Yes.
Yeah. But if you're hiking, don't do it. And we'll get into why. But to get there, search for Cove Creek Campground in Brevard, North Carolina on your map app. Now, the trail is not in the Cove Creek Campground, but the parking area is literally right across the road from the campground. So if you search for the campground and you get there, right as you're looking at the campground entrance, if you look to the left, is the parking for the trailhead.
Yes. Now that parking area can only maybe fit 5, maybe 6 cars. And there were a couple of sort of pull off the road kind of parking.
There was a few pull off the road parkings at the one end of this there and back trail. Maybe 2 spaces.
Yeah.
And there was one about halfway through that was another maybe 2 spaces. So there's not a lot of parking. And when we got there was already several cars.
Yes, because there was a group that was being led by someone. They looked like they were walking off towards, I guess there's other trails near the campground.
There are. Yeah. There's a waterfall trail that's not far from there.
Why didn't we do that one?
This one was highly rated.
Okay.
So, we can't do them all the time. So
why not?
Why not? I don't know. It's because I'm bad at this, I guess.
No, you're not.
So, okay. So the trail itself, it's very, very narrow. And it's very clearly, once you start walking it, designed for mountain biking. Because, as I said, it's narrow. The trail itself in many places is maybe 18 inches wide.
Yes, you have brush, plants brushing up against you on both sides throughout a lot of this trail.
And, the thing about this trail is you can hear the Davidson River, but you can only see it in very few places because the foliage is so dense.
Yeah, so this might be something different in the winter or in the fall when the leaves change colors. I'm guessing that trails like this would be spectacular.
Any trail that we do
where
the fall colors go. Yeah. So, and it also twists and turns quite a bit. There's several blind turns.
Yes.
And this is why
we
don't recommend it.
Yes. By the time because it's a there and back. So we had hiked in and then turned around to hike back out, to get to the parking area where our vehicle was. And about maybe less than halfway back, we were just done with having to jump off the trail because mountain bikes are coming at us from both sides. You have to pay attention, and those mountain bikes are coming fast.
That one guy that we had to jump off the side for was moving very, very fast.
He was going downhill a little bit, and yes, he was going very fast.
That would have really hurt because there's nowhere he can't stop in enough time because the road is gravelly, right? Or the trail is gravelly.
It was kind of funny because he rang his bell after he passed us. It was kind of like,
thanks, pal.
Like the information that, I better not hit these hikers got to his brain just a little bit late.
Yeah.
But
he came around at one of those blind curves.
Yes. Yes. So here's the thing. I get based on the amount of mountain bikes that we saw yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a popular mountain biking trail. And I'm going to go ahead and guess that since we saw 0 other hikers, and since these mountain bikes were coming at us so fast, they're not used to seeing hikers on this trail. I don't know why All Trails said this was a hiking trail.
It specifically said it was a hiking trail, but and technically it is a hiking trail.
Yeah.
But it's a hiking trail like CVS is a grocery store. You know what I mean? So CVS has some groceries, but it does not mean that's where you go for grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't get pate from CVS.
God. No, I don't know that I get much food there at all. Nothing against you, CVS. If you want a Snickers bar, if you want to sponsor our podcast, I'd love to have it.
Oh yeah,
but people aren't going there to grocery shop. But anyway, I think you're right. While you can hike on it, our recommendation is that you shouldn't. Not only is it kind of, I would say, borderline dangerous for hikers because of the blind turns and because the mountain bikers are not used to seeing walking people.
Yeah.
And
because if you jump off the trail at certain points, you're jumping down, like you're going to fall down the mountain.
Yeah. And
it's very narrow.
It's so narrow. Like there were a lot of places where we could not have gotten off the side.
Yes.
Even if we wanted to get out of the way, we would have had to jump into a bush.
Which is why we kind of started doing a double time thing there at the end.
We made it fast. This is also, Donna, this is the fastest trail that we've done at 3.2 miles per hour. Because you and I were trying to get out of there.
We were hoofing it that last bit because we just didn't want to get run over by a mountain bike.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ultimately, listeners, if you're hiking, this is one that we actually say don't do.
Yeah, skip it.
Don't do it. And there were a couple spots where you could see across the valley to the mountaintops or to the mountain right across the valley. That was a beautiful view.
Yeah, we took some pictures.
Yeah, we did, and they're on Instagram.
Okay.
But man, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You have to pass vistas in your vehicle to get to this spot. So why not just do it?
Honestly, this is just past what is it?
It's right before Looking Glass Falls.
Okay.
So it's right before Looking Glass Falls. The turn goes off to the left.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sliding Rock is up there. There's so many other things to do around this area.
And there are better hikes in that area.
Yes.
So, you and I actually talked about, well, maybe we shouldn't even talk about this trail because we don't recommend it. But I think it's a service to the listener.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I found it and there were people that were saying it's a good trail, there's a good chance other people are looking for trails. They might stumble across it. So if you're listening, hikers, don't do this trail. It's not worth it. The payoff is next to nothing for the danger. However, if you're a mountain biker listening to our podcast, this one is a great trail for you.
Yeah. And we did notice that you can sort of go down from the parking area to this access to water, Babbling Brook, little water.
Yeah, you have to scramble kind of under a tree and over some rocks, but you can get to water there, and there's definitely no way a mountain biker is going to be on that little segment.
Yes. So, yeah. So there are, even around, within the area of the same parking lot, there's other probably better, more interesting things to do for a hiker.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to go back, and Whaleback Falls is nearby there. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to go back and see if we can find that trail. Nothing was terribly well marked out there. Like, there were no blazes. There wasn't any big signs that say, Davidson River Trailhead. So,
well, that one sign was down and we picked it up.
Yeah. One sign at the other end, it was just in the tall weeds.
Like, stuff had grown over it. It had been there for a while.
It had been there a while. So now that we've basically said don't do this hike, there were a few things that were kind of nice about it.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Well, the views.
Yeah.
The couple views that you saw of the ridgeline across the valley, and then you saw a ton of flowers on this trail.
Well, yes, I really did appreciate the flowers more than usual, and the way that the sun came through and hit some of these. Oh, it was so pretty.
Yeah.
That was a bonus for me.
That was the only highlights, really.
Well, okay, so I'm going to back up before we even got to the trailhead. We saw a deer. So
yes, we did. We saw a deer on our way up.
Yeah, that was kind of nice.
That was nice. Yeah.
And I had just read about my stepsister up in North Carolina in Rutherfordton. She maybe had a bear get into her backyard and get into the bird feeder. They don't exactly know what it was, but there was like metal hook bent and the bird feeder was completely destroyed. So
very well could have been.
Yeah.
You don't hear about bears going after bird feeders too much. I mean, you get a fat raccoon, it'll go after the bird feeder.
That and squirrels, we know.
We had to take our bird feeders down because squirrels destroyed one of them.
Yeah, like bit off the corners of it.
Yep, and kept dumping the other one off. Yeah. So listeners, Davidson River Trail for hiking we don't recommend it. For mountain biking, oh yeah. If you're a mountain biker, this is a perfect trail for you.
If you're a mountain biker, you just have to watch out for other mountain bikers because if you're going one way,
there has to be crashes on that. There has to be crashes on that. Just because of how many blind turns, and there's no room to move out of the way.
Yeah. So even for a mountain biker, I would only recommend it cautiously.
Yeah. Yeah, and because we've seen mountain bikers in Paris Mountain, and Paris Mountain trails are pretty wide, especially compared to this. Very wide. We've seen them on Brissy Ridge, and there's plenty of room to get out of the way on those. And this one, there's absolutely no room to get out of the way. None whatsoever.
So, in spots.
Yeah, but I mean, over the course of
you just have to be lucky
3 miles,
and be hitting that spot when
the other person is. Yeah. Okay, so listeners, don't recommend Davidson River Trail, but if you're a mountain biker, have at it. It looked fun. So that's the Trail Snacks episode this week, guys. Short and sweet. Davidson River Trail, we do not recommend going on it if you're a hiker. If you're a mountain biker, I can see how it would be a really fun one.
Appealing, yeah.
Yeah, but again, if you're a mountain biker, this is one, or if you're a hiker, I'm sorry. If you're a hiker, pass it up. It's simply not worth it.
Yep. And thank you so much for listening. So please subscribe to us in whatever podcast app you use and be sure to leave us a review because that's how our show grows. Feel free to check out our trail photos at casualclimbers.com. And if you have a question, comment, or just want to drop us a line, you can reach us at casualclimberspodcast@gmail.com.
So, Donna, would you ever want to get into mountain biking?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
The faster you're going, when you fall, the harder you hit. I mean, like, there's a lot of damage that can happen.
Yeah.
Plus,
they look like they're having fun out there.
Okay, now wait a minute. We see them going uphill on these roads, and they are huffing, and they're going like, I could literally walk faster than they're going with.
Yeah.
But they must have incredible leg muscles.
I would think.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah, we see them all the time riding the bikes on the
I would
ridge.
be walking my bike uphill 100%.
Or in a car.
I'd just be in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you out on the
See you out
trails.
on the trails.